Hello, how are you all today? I'm Ahura Z and welcome to Ask the Unicorn slash the Way of the Unicorn. I haven't learned that new term, slash. Boy, it's a little dark, isn't it?
I told you that.
Well, it didn't appear that dark. We've been having a little bit of technical difficulty. I'm about to remedy that.
Move that lighter.
Sure, why don't you move that out a little bit? Careful, don't knock that.
I'm going to have to turn it off first.
Okay. You could just move it down. Put it on the speaker. Put it on the speaker. Turn it back on. Thank you very much. As you see, we're still ironing out some problems here and there, but we'll get them, soon enough, and things will be nice and lovely. We are actually working on some new things. I'm going to dive a little bit more into the whole movie thing, and as you all know, I do back and support independent film. I'm an independent filmmaker myself and have been in several independent films, or one that I'm in right now, which is called, at the moment, Frostbite, and that is directed by Seth Roberts and produced by Alan Dillingham and produced by Killitainment Films, and it promises to be a really great film. In fact, we did 2 long film sessions over the weekend where we filmed some fight scenes, and I got to pull somebody's heart out. It was pretty fun. But anyway, this is Ask the Unicorn, and I will answer any type of question that has to do with the metaphysical, the spiritual, the paranormal, and the mystical. However, there are 2 types of questions that I do not answer, and no one will make me answer them, and that pertains to whether or not someone is going to die or whether or not someone is cheating on each other. Beyond that, I will answer any question as long as it has to do with those 4 fields. Okay? For those of you that have questions, you can either write them into our chat room, or you can give us a call at 207-347-5686. Once again, that is 207-347-5686. Now, as I said, I'm Ahura Z. For those of you that have just joined us and never really, watched the show before, and this is my stalwart life mate and wonderful companion, also my daughter, Kazi.
Hello, this is episode 46, and it is August 20th.
And yes, she is my stalwart companion and life mate.
Life mate is used for another term.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It is not. It's whatever I choose it to be.
It's not correct.
Yes, it is. Anyway, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask us questions. Oh, wait. Okay, so on the subject of movies, we went to see one movie, and it is the Guardians of the Galaxy. Great visuals, absolutely magnificent visuals, but true to form with most Marvel movies, that is like this really beautiful car that has no engine. The story was really shallow and light, and the music, I don't even know why they allowed someone to do the music for that movie that they did. Okay? You would think that after a while, after, so many movies that have flopped in the box office, they have one good weekend, then people figure it out and don't go on to go see it again, that the people that do Marvel movies would say, hey, how about we work on the storyline and make it a little better? What is she doing?
It's playing
No.
on the bottle.
Okay. How about we work on the movie a little more and maybe pick some music that has to do with the movie and not just random songs because somebody thought that they were cool.
80s music.
Okay, which had nothing to do with the movie at all. Nothing to do with the plot, nothing to do with the movie. They just stuck random songs in there and hoped that people thought it was cool. Anyway, I thought that Dave Bautista did a decent job. I thought that the acting was okay. It's just really, it had no script. That was worth thinking about. But visually, movie was great. Okay, it delivered like all Marvel movies do with the visuals, and special effects and all of that kind of thing.
And
Costumings and makeup and set design and explosions and things. There was even purple smoke. That was pretty good. So it's one that is, I definitely think, worth going to see once. And then you could either wait for it on... Wait, there's no more real DVDs, is there? Wait for it to be on a movie channel that you can rent the movie. Or if you haven't seen it, you might want to wait for it to be on one of those movie things. That you can just sit back at home instead of going on paying all the money that you will to go to the movies. But beyond that, I would like for you all to back and support your independent film. There was one thing with that movie. Do you know they repeated the same lines twice in the movie?
Ooh, which ones?
It was the one where he says, when I first found you, my boys wanted to eat you.
Yeah.
And I saved your life.
They did that a lot of times. That and I Am Groot.
Yeah, well, I understood that part. He was like, no matter what he said, it was always, no matter how he did it, it was always I Am Groot, and it was supposed to mean different things. So anyway, I would like to urge you all to back and support your independent filmmakers. I know quite a few, and they're working very hard and very, very diligently to bring you good entertainment. However, we need your help. We need your help in funding so that we can get the kind of materials and the kind of equipment that we need in order to make these wonderful films. Like, okay, I got this really cool piece of equipment here that I want to share with everyone, and it is a recorder that goes to a microphone, a boom mic. And I finally have one. Ha ha!
Yay!
Yes, and it took me years to be able to get one. There's a lot other stuff that I need, but I got this now, so that makes me pretty cool. So if you help us out, we'll be able to do our movies better, do our crafts better, and get you something that you really do want to see. I promise you this: I will not do Gone with the Wind. Okay? Or Annie. Or Cinderella, Snow White.
Male Pheasant.
Maleficent. Yeah. I will not do something 1, 2, 3, and 4. Mm-mm. And Bruce Willis will be in none of my films. And I doubt seriously I'll have one of the Wahlbergs. Anyway. So help us out. We are working very, very diligently, and I can say this from in front of the camera and behind the camera. So with that being said, let's get on with the show. What have you got for me tonight?
All right, this first question comes to us from Jennifer via email. She says, I have an innate healing gift and I would like to know more about energy healing and where I could get more information or possibly training. Thank you.
Right here. I teach classes, and I do teach classes in energy healing. I do not teach for free. I want to make that perfectly clear to all of the people that are listening to this or may see this. I need to make this really clear, okay, because evidently there are people out there that believe that if they come and tell me they have a hardship case, that I'm supposed to teach them for free. That's not how it works. Teachers are a hardship case. Have you ever seen a rich teacher? Most of the times, the people that we teach are the ones that go off and get rich and kind of forget about us. So, I teach my classes. I'm very good at what it is that I teach, and I'm very thorough, and I'm very, very patient. If you want to honestly learn, then take some classes from me. I'll work things out with you. I don't charge an arm and a leg for my classes. My prices are reasonable, and you will get what you are asking for. So, you can give us a shout on the website, which is www.unicorn-cove.com. That is the school. I teach classes in person and via Skype or any other public forum that we can actually see each other and talk. I will teach group classes. I will teach single classes. And I always say this: one of my dream jobs. If I could pick anything that I wanted to be and do and have it actually happen, I would teach metaphysics and paranormal investigation and psychic development to our armed forces. I think that would be a dream. Just give me a platoon of soldiers that I can turn into psychic soldiers, that I could help them develop their intuition and have them be able to see around current corners and through walls without having to use all of that crappy equipment that needs to be severely updated. Okay, especially the armor and things like that. But that would be a dream job for me. I would teach anything that had to do with local, city, state, federal. Give me the job. I'll make sure that our soldiers know how to look through things. I will make sure that they have a way of fighting some of the things that are thrown at them that have nothing to do with a bullet or a gun. Because remember, overseas, you have to know that those people that we call enemies are using metaphysics. They are using some form of psychism, and they are using some form of mysticism. What makes you think they don't? These cultures are far older than the American culture. Give me a shot at it. I will train troops to be able to combat it. Not only that, they'll be able to combat evil at the same time. I don't believe that everyone that we've called an enemy is evil. However, that would be a dream job for me. But if you want to learn about healing as well, I do teach. And I'm good at what I do. All right, so what do you got next?
The next question is from Smiles.
Hi.
She says, well, it's good evening, Z.
Oh, good evening. Sorry.
It was good morning, but
I said hi.
It was good morning, but it's now good evening. We're in evening time. I just wanted to tell you about this dream I just woke up from. You know how Smokey is missing, which is her cat?
Yeah.
Well, in my dream, in my dream, wow, she finally came home a little scrawny, very dirty, but both my girls were there.
Yeah, the cat was telling you, kind of saying goodbye.
And hold on, there's more.
Okay, I can tell you what it is. I don't need to hear the whole thing to tell you.
Oh, yeah, hold on, let me re-edit this. Well, I don't know why it was not re-edited.
What's this say?
Anyways, there, was there, that's what it says. And of course, Derek, I was so happy to see her. We were playing, I called her name, she came running over. I was really, really happy. Then I realized that I was dreaming in my own dream. Derek was coming down the stairs, and I just looked at Smokey and looked at him and told him, this isn't real, she's really not here. I'm dreaming, so I'm looking at her. The kids are playing with the cat, and I just started crying because I knew that it was not real. I cried so hard. Just grabbed the cat in my arms and held and kissed her. I was crying so hard that I woke up crying, full-blown crying. Do you think that that's Smokey trying to give me closure? Maybe she's gone for good, like passed on. Oh.
I think it just said that.
Yeah. We need to
that was a separation of energies. Okay? That's what that is. Just say a prayer for her and hope that she is okay. I think she is. Okay, now. And here's one of the things that you need to do, and you need to really consider. Do your mourning for her. That's fine. Okay? And unfortunately, people into years and years of grieving, you really don't want to do that. You have to fill the void. Get another cat. Okay? The interesting thing about animals is their consciousnesses are a lot different from ours. Cats, like dogs, share almost a collective consciousness. That means that when you do get another cat, you'll be able to see your friend through that other cat once in a while. we are all supposed to have kind of a collective consciousness. Is that it's just that we humans have this thing about separating ourselves. We love to be able to separate ourselves. We teach ourselves to separate ourselves. We teach our children to separate us out. We teach each other to separate each other out. We segment everyone based upon their color, based upon their race, based upon their orientation, and based upon their creed and things like that, which is absolutely stunningly ridiculous. One of the things that we have to learn as humanity is that we really are one. We share the etheric field of this earth. That makes us one. That makes us all different expressions of the same species. Okay? And once we learn that, we'll be able to truly evolve. Unfortunately, we get put in this static position by those that want to separate us. Well, guess what? The animal kingdom really doesn't think that way. The animal kingdom understands certain things. And one of those things is they don't have to be taught spirituality. There are those really kind of dim-witted people that believe that, dogs or cats don't have souls because they're animals. It's exactly that type of thinking that caused racial prejudice, that caused sexual prejudice, that caused all types of prejudices that have nothing to do with the reality because they're not based in reality. First step and first lesson of spirituality is reality. So when you're dealing with what it is that you've lost, try, because there's really nothing that anyone can say to you to make you feel better about, losing your friend. But what we can tell you is this: you'll need to keep your heart open so that you can find a new friend, and perhaps your old friend will come through that new friend. Okay? So, that being said, I hope you do find yourself a new friend, and I am very sorry for your loss. Okay? And you should call me. Okay?
Yeah.
Hope that helps you out. Keep smiling.
Mm.
Okay, what else have you got?
Shelly says, "Hey guys, sending love, and just wanted Z to send some extra love out to a friend of mine, please."
Nope. There's no such thing as extra love. You either love or you do not.
Alright, next question is, what are you doing?
I'm playing with my plushie. You said I have a plushie teddy bear.
You do have a plushie
and that's
teddy
what
bear.
she is.
Next question is...
Ozzy is my plushie monkey.
No. That is from Natalia Casanova. They say, "Greetings, weird. Recently, eating meat of any kinds makes me sad, like literally cry. It's like I want to eat it, but my spirit is begging/pleading with me not to, so I don't. I just eat veggies." I was wondering what's going on.
Maybe you've just changed. Or maybe you've listened to thousands of people that think that meat is bad for you, or that you're not supposed to eat it. Those reasons have to do with you. They are not a spiritual principle, because in truth, many of the great teachers that have walked this earth also ate meat. But if your body and your mind is telling you to not eat meat, then I suggest that you listen to it. There may be something in that. As for myself, yes, I eat meat. I am a lion. There is no such thing as a vegetarian lion. I don't care what anyone says. But if it's your preference to stop eating meat, make sure that you know what you're doing. Remember, we eat meat and it helps give us what it is that we need. But there's some people who are vegetarians, and I have met those people that are vegetarians. But if you're doing it for some moral reason, severely, you are kidding yourself. Okay? If you're doing it because of health reasons, or you're doing it because you just feel like doing it, fine, do that. Okay? And if it feels good to you, go for it. If there's a spiritual reason that you feel, if there's something that you feel that your spirit is calling out to you to do, then I suggest that you do it. I know that there's been this great movement of a bunch of people that say, well, meat is murder and crap like that. That's just exactly what it is, crap. Okay? Butchers, there are butchers that care for what it is that they're doing. There are farmers that care for what it is that they're doing. Which leads me to something else. If you meet up with people who just do trophy hunting just for the sake of wanting to shoot an animal, you need to stay far away from those people, because they have no reverence for life, and they have no reverence for death, and they have no reverence for the animal kingdom, and they have no reverence for themselves. Okay? Beyond that, a lot of things come from, those that we wind up getting things from that are animals. Now, my Ling, I'm not going to eat her. And if I had a cow, I would... Stop it. If I had a cow, I wouldn't be able to eat it either. That's the thing about being a telepath. If I look at the animal, it's not getting eaten by me. This is why, if I step on someone's farm, I will not eat anything from that farm. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Down. Okay? And, everyone has their reasons. Your reason is just as valid. It doesn't matter why. It matters what you do. Okay? So if your energy is leading you not to eat meat, then don't. Don't. I still love you. Okay.
Welcome to Costco's.
All right. I hope that helps you out.
Next question is from Ray Irvin.
Okay.
And he says, please ask Ahura if he can advise how to build armor to protect in the astral realm. Thank you.
Stay out of the astral realm. That's how. Okay? That's how you build armor in the astral realm. Stay out of it. If you find yourself there by accident, then one of the things that you need to do is concentrate on something that means something to you, that is a spiritual principle for you, and get yourself out of there. Okay? And then do everything that you can to keep yourself out of the astral realm. These are some of the things that will cause you to inadvertently wind up in the astral realm. There are 5 things that you should be able to do in your life. Make sure that you're eating enough. Make sure that you're sleeping enough. Make sure that you're drinking enough. Water. Make sure that make sure that you have some exercise, and make sure that you have some spiritual input to your life. If you can follow those 5 steps and remain grounded, you'll stay out of the astral realm. But if you have that curiosity, like a lot of people do, they just want to go into the astral realm because they think it's so cool, and I fly in my dreams. Does that mean that I'm in the astral? No, that's not what that means. Okay, if you find yourself there, get out as quickly as possible. Get your wits about you and find your way out. Now, if you have one of those problems that you just kind of get yanked in there, all the time, there are definite exercises that will help you to not go in there. But don't think that just because you want to go in there that I'm going to give you some armor to keep you going, because the only armor I'm going to suggest to you is to stay your tail out of the astral realm, and that's just the bottom line. We're not supposed to be there. Okay? You do not belong there. And that's the bottom line.
What are some ways that a person can tell if they are in the astral realm?
You can usually tell if you're in the astral realm. You'll usually be quite cognizant that you're someplace else. And not only that, you'll be able to sense that your body's a little lighter. It may feel rather pleasant at first, but then the environment will very quickly change. And you'll also find that you get yanked from one destination to the next in these things. The astral realm has a way of trying to trap you. In other words, you'll be chasing. It's like chasing the dragon on The Simpsons. You're always going to chase the dragon. What is that? Was it The Simpsons or South Park?
South Park.
Where the dad was chasing the dragon. He says, "I've almost got it. It's kind of like that. You'll find yourself being kind of vacuumed from one place to the other, and then you'll wake up and you'll be more tired than you were. Now, the first couple of times it may feel as though you're all rejuvenated and so forth, but then you'll notice something peculiar about that rejuvenation. It's very, very short-lived. And then you'll feel draining, wasting, and a loss of strength. And then you become rather obsessed with being in the astral realm because it's a mode of escape. And then all of a sudden, everything will change. The colors will change. The vibration will change. The whole mood will change. And all of a sudden, there'll be this great foreboding of being in the astral realm. And then you'll have the sense that there is someone there with you. And you may not see them, but you'll know that they're there. Well, in truth, there are other beings there in the astral realm. Many, many other beings that are there to learn a lesson. Those beings are there to learn a reverence for life. Those are usually beings that have done a great violation against the very principle of life. We won't talk too much about that at the moment. But let it suffice to say that my suggestion is for you to just stay out of the astral realm if you can help it. If you find yourself being yanked there constantly, that means that you have found something that has caused an obsession, and we need to break it. People that screw around with Ouija boards are usually prime candidates. Also, people that have drug addiction problems or alcohol addiction problems. And the moment that you lose consciousness, you wind up in a place that is not very, very pretty or very, very wise. Psychological things can be dealt with rather easily when it comes to the astral realm. Habits such as drugs and drinking, they can also be dealt with rather easily if the person is actually willing to seek help or willing to accept the help and do the job that needs to be done in order to make them stay out of the astral realm. You usually know when you've lost your grounding is when you wind up in the astral realm. At that particular point, you need to reclaim your grounding. We don't need to make any undue agreements with things that we do not see or things that we do not understand. We need to understand what it is that we are doing when we delve into the world of the metaphysical. There are a lot of people that are just very curious about the metaphysical and curious about the spiritual. But you have to understand that there are so many rules when it comes to the paranormal. So many rules. And if you break one of those rules, that rule that you break could be very important in keeping you out of the astral realm. I don't care what your buddies say or what your friends say. I really don't care if you've read one of these books by some Fruit Loop that looks as though they've been stuck on someone's wall like a piece of death on a soda cracker, trying to tell everyone how great the astral realm is. Because in truth, it is not great. And that is the truth of it. It is not great. Because if I have to go and retrieve someone from the astral realm, I am not a happy person at all. Not at all. Which basically means that yes, I will pull you out of the astral realm, but then I will give you the teaching of your life so that you stay out of the astral realm. And there are people like me that, for those that are repeat offenders, there are ways of sealing you so that you cannot go into the astral realm. Okay? And that is basically for your own good. Does that violate a person's free will? If the person comes to me and says they need help with something, I'm going to help you my way, not your way. So no, it doesn't violate your free will. However, if I do it of my own volition, that's something different, which I would never do. But from the moment that you come to me and say, hey, I really need help in staying out of the astral realm, I can pretty much do whatever I choose, as long as I meet the objective. So, if you really want to learn how to stay out of the astral realm and armor yourself against being pulled into the astral realm, I'm your guy. And I do teach the classes, and I've already said that. So, if you want to know about the classes, let us know, and we'll set something up for you. Okay, what else have you got?
We have another question from Natalia Casanueva.
Mm-hmm.
They say, I dream of my mother a lot recently, probably because her birthday is coming up. I can't interact, only watch her go about her day. I'm glad for the dream, but I wake up heavy and hurt. Any input?
Yeah, you miss your mom. I mean, that's quite natural. Okay, and especially around the anniversary of her, or her birthday, or the anniversary of her death, you're going to miss her a little more. Okay, that's perfectly normal. One of the things that you might do is perhaps do a small tribute to her, and I'm sure that you do in your way. Maybe write a letter to her. Okay, it would help you out. Write a letter to her, like you're going to actually mail it. Put it in an envelope, postage on it, and then burn it. Take the ashes of that letter with love, take it to a body of moving water. Pour the ashes in. Say a small prayer and walk away. Okay? It'll help you out. And she's fine. Okay.
Alright, so next question is from Arlisha Valentine.
Hi.
Oh wait, one more. Sorry, we have another question from before that came in from Ray Irvin. He says he wants to know if you would like to accompany him to Mars one day.
Not necessarily. I'm fine here on Earth. I've been there. Not unless you have a physical spaceship that we can actually go there. In that case, I am all in. Okay?
With a Gundam suit.
I don't know about the Gundam suit, but I would definitely be one of those people that would take a trip to Mars. I would be the first on the ship. They wouldn't even have to prep me. Just give me the spacesuit and let me go. Okay? Same with Jupiter.
Alright, so next question is from Arlisha Valentine. She says, are there particular
Thanks, so.
Are there particular techniques we should use when manifesting?
There are lots of techniques, and that comes under the heading of taking classes again. There are a lot of techniques. It depends on what it is that you're trying to manifest. If you're trying to manifest prosperity, there are many, many different techniques, but they all are going to take not just your belief and your concentration and your desire, they're also going to take work. Okay? So remember, technique is one thing. Desire, need is another thing. But work matters. Okay, it's kind of like what you've grown up with. That old teaching that I'll give to you again, faith without works is dead. That's kind of a morbid way to put it. But let's say that faith without work is ineffective. Okay? And that's actually the truth when it comes to manifestation as well. So when you're ready to learn some manifestation techniques, let me know. You know I'm here for you.
She also asks another question.
Mm-hmm.
She says, is there any advice you could give to mothers who are having challenges with their sons? A few of my son's friends have been kicked out of their homes lately, and they are all 21.
See, I left home when I was 17. My upbringing was not pleasant. But I got to a point where I knew that if I didn't leave, I probably would have wound up dead. So when it comes to this kind of advice, I'm going to say this way. One of the things that I never did was disrespect my mom. I was not one of the kids that would get up in her face, that would say rude things to her. I just figured that I could best show my being a good son by going out and making a good example of myself. She showed me she didn't want me there. If she did want me there, that would have been something entirely different. But you know, on the other end of that, for those young men that have been kicked out, if your mom had a good reason to kick you out, then you need to go do something about it. Get yourself better. Get yourself better. So that you can at least stand and say, okay, I understand why you did that. I was bad, or I was good, or whatever, but I'm taking care of myself. Fine. As for the mothers, if that's what you had to do, fine. Kick your son out. Don't go getting guilty. Don't be guilty for something you saw needed to be done. But don't do it just because other people expect you to do that. There's this whole rash of people that think that just because someone turns 18 that makes them an adult. Or just because they turn 21, that makes them adult. And I can tell you for a fact, there is no man on the face of this earth that is grown at 21 years old. Most men are psychologically, by the time that they are 21, only maybe 14 or 15 in their head. The rest is just going around and reacting to everything. Finding reasons to call themselves a man when they haven't the first clue of what a man is. And And truth, it is the job of the mother to teach a boy how to be a man. I know that that gets left up to the dad, but listen, the dad doesn't get taught how to be a man either. And just because you have a child or you make a baby doesn't make you a man. It merely makes you male. And that's just the truth of it. So the first thing that you mothers need to learn is you don't teach a boy to be a man by booting him out. You teach him to be a man by showing him that whatever he's learned about manhood is wrong. And if he needs help, you get him help. If that means that you have to take him to the doorstep of someone that you know can help him, then you do exactly that. And if you have to kick him out, don't be guilty about it. But don't do it just because, well, you know, they're 21 years old now, so I should boot them out. That's ridiculous. That's the stupidest thing ever. That's exactly what causes a bunch of hoodlums out on the street. And don't sit there and dog them either. At the same time, I know the mothers have it hard. But guess what? So do dads. There's nothing out there for dads. Most times dads don't get anything. Nothing. No form of appreciation. And when they do, what do? We get a tie.
I didn't get you a tie.
Yeah, I'm not talking about you. Be quiet. Shut up.
Don't wear them. Get you lays. Make you good lays.
It's like my daughter. My daughter can stay with me as long as she wants to. And I don't care. I really don't care. In fact, I love seeing her face. And you mothers that have sons, if your sons are problem sons and they do something stupid, you have to have it within you to not make excuses for them. Don't go making an excuse and making it seem like everybody else is at fault for that little hick in that head boy that goes out and do something stupid. You see it all the time in the news. Oh, he's my son, my baby. He couldn't have possibly done it on his own. He had to be brainwashed. No, someone must have told him. No, whatever happened, that he was a grade A jerk that needed to learn a harsh lesson. There's a lot of little boys that are like that. Mothers that sit and coddle their boys day in and day out from childhood, where the boy will get up in their face and say, I hate you, mommy, give me this or I'm not going to like you, blah, 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 cussing and screaming at their mothers, and all of a sudden the mother's supposed to feel guilty over it? No, absolutely not. If you've got a problem child, then you need to seek help for that child. And guess what? Making parenting the school's problem is not it. Okay? You don't leave it up to the school to teach your boy about sex, about work. You don't give him what he wants because he makes a stupid face at you. You don't give him what he wants because, he's going to get mad through a temper tantrum. Or maybe he'll do something stupid like call DHS and say that you abused him because he took his iPod. Then let him go. Let him go. See how easy it is. At the same token, if you know that your boy needs love, then give him love. Don't make excuses. But if you had to kick your boy out, or your girl, don't be guilty about it. Not unless you're the one that's wrong. And if you are the one that's wrong, face up. Okay? Admit it. There's nothing wrong with admitting you're wrong when you're wrong. In fact, it can be rather liberating. In my life, there were 5 women that are responsible for me being alive and being the person that I am today. 5. 5 women. 5. And none of them were my mother. And that's just the truth. Doesn't mean I hate my mother. Absolutely not. Love my mother. She was the most beautiful woman ever. Did we get along? No. She hated me just because I was born. But there were 5 other women that mothered me. Those women, when they didn't have to do a damn thing for me, decided that I was worth it. And you know something? I teach mostly women because I owe those 5 women to be the best man that I possibly can. And I do every day strive to be the best man that I possibly can. Spiritually speaking, I always call Athena my mother. But I don't expect anyone to feel guilty because I had such a hard time. And nor should you women feel guilty, because maybe 7 out of 10 of you is because also the dad was nowhere around. And if he wasn't around, he is a pure prime USDA jackass. So don't go taking all the blame, moms. Don't. It's not your fault. So that's the best advice I can give you. If you know your son needs love, then give him love. And for those people that know that you can take people in and, you know, someone in that has been abandoned, do it. Do it. It might enrich your life. Don't do it out of obligation. Don't put yourself in a dangerous situation. Help them. No man can teach a boy how to be a man. Sorry, I don't care what the books say. Women can teach a boy to be a man. That's the truth. Just like men can teach a girl to be a woman. I'm just telling you the way that it is. I really don't care what any of you have to say, you know, contrary to it. I can only tell you from my experience. And I can only tell you what I know and what I see. You know, it takes a mom to teach a boy how to understand other women. And you know something? There's nothing like women to make a man be a man. I know this. I've taught a lot of women, and I've become a better man because of it. So, that's some of the advice I can give moms. If you have to do it, don't feel guilty. What's she doing?
Sniffing my foot, and her tongue's tickling my foot because it's so gritty.
Dog. You have to like lick people's feet all the time. No, stay there. I didn't ask you to come up here.
Alright, we have a few more questions.
Hope that helps you out. What?
The next question is from Michael Priester. He says, what could happen if you opened yourself to the paranormal?
I'm already open to the paranormal.
I think it was just a general question, not you.
Well, what could happen if you did? You might wind up like me. You might wind up being able to see. Well, that rhymed. That was strange. You know, a lot can happen. It's not a matter of opening yourself up to the paranormal. It's becoming aware of the paranormal. Understanding that it's happening all the time. Remember what paranormal is. Paranormal is merely normal and beyond. Para literally means beyond. Okay? Beyond. Apara means worldly. Got it? Apara, worldly. Para, otherworldly. Beyond. So, paranormal. I know in our country we call it paranormal, but it's actually pronounced paranormal. Okay. But that's what can happen. You can become more intelligent, you become more intuitive, you can see things that you've never seen before and understand them, and you would understand that we literally all are one. That's some of the things that can happen.
Alright.
What else?
Natalia Casanova says gratitude. Thank you. And
I got you.
Michelle Ayot says, hello, I had a dream a while ago that I was in the funeral home next door, and the woman who owns it was showing me around, and there was a ghost in pure white light and she pointed out to me and she said, oh, there's one now, and the figure ran very fast at me. I screamed, go easy. The energy was a shock that woke me and I still felt that shock for a short time after being awake.
That's great. There's one now. What that was probably telling you is that there's one that is just kind of slipped in here by accident, and the pure white light that you were talking is just a reflection. It's just a deflection, rather. In other words, you didn't belong there, and you just kind of wandered there in your dream body. It's okay. It happens once in a while, So you have to understand that there are all different types of dimensions, and these dimensions sometimes converge. Okay, basically, you probably slipped into an astral awareness. That's one of those things that I was telling you. There are keepers there that will knock you back into where it is that you're supposed to be. That's probably why you felt a little peculiar after you woke up. So it's all right. It does happen. Just that's usually when you've lost your grounding. Perhaps you were going through a time that you were under duress and you were looking for an escape route. Unfortunately, you wound up in a funeral home, which is truthfully one of the more peaceful places, but you didn't need to be there at that particular time. And that's why you were sent back.
All right.
Okay, what else do we got?
This next question is from Elise, however, it's not appropriate, and I think perhaps you can address that again.
I told you I don't answer those kind of questions, Elise.
All right. And she says, thanks for being Goddess's warrior.
Thank you. I will always be that.
And Arlisha Valentine says, thank you so much. I'll have my son listen to this and share it with his friends.
Good.
Arthur Warren asks, greetings, Ahura. I have a question. It's a two-part question. How can you tell if your chakras are unbalanced, and how can you realign them?
Usually there's a discomfort or pain in the area that chakra governs. Remember, we have 7 major energy centers in our bodies, and those energy centers govern different parts of our bodies. Okay? Depending on where it is, what type of discomfort you may be having. Usually there are breathing meditations that will help you if you're focusing the energy on that particular chakra or energy center. Just breathing in, breathing out, maybe doing a little physical manipulation depending upon where it is. Also, you can go to someone that is capable of aligning your circuits. Okay, so one of the things that I do offer in the circuitry teaching is aligning one's circuits to get rid of things that are affected by the misalignment of circuits. Also, one of the things you might do is look at the cause that circuit got misaligned. Like, usually when a person's third circuit gets misaligned, it's because there's a psychic attack, or maybe they're just angry about something, or perhaps they had an argument which just settled them, or something that made them afraid. Depending upon the nature of the affliction that they're feeling, you can usually tell really easy when someone's energy is off. They'll list to one side or another. Maybe they'll crouch, or they'll go through some kind of a physical pain that really has no explanation other than something hurts. Headaches, things like that is because of a maladjusted 6th circuit. Throat things is a maladjusted 5th circuit. Things of the heart, usually the 4th circuit, and things that have to do with digestion, energy, body energy, core energy, or usually the 3rd. Things of an intimacy nature, or perhaps there are financial problems or career problems, or just not able to make things function, or there's a loss of desire and wasting of strength, have to do with the 2nd. One's foundation being unstable, experiencing leg pain, things that have to do with the lower back and extremities, and have to do with relationships, family relationships, or either personal family relationships, and just a general foundation have to do with the 1st circuit. It just depends on what it is. But you can go to a practitioner that is able to manipulate those things for you, and it usually shouldn't take too long for that to happen. If you if you go to someone to have them align your circuits and it takes more than 30 minutes or 20 minutes, they're usually just trying to soak you for money, or if someone wants to elbow you in the gut and things like that. You really have to watch who you go to, and
one of the things that I might suggest for you to do is to definitely learn how to do these things. Many times the circuitry can be aligned without the person even touching you. I will say this: there is a practice that is called polarity therapy. Polarity therapy. Um, Mind who you go to, seriously, because that person can really screw you up. That particular practice, I understand the premise of it, but you really have to go to someone that understood the energy centers in order to allow them to work on you. Same with Reiki, and I know that it just hit this tidal wave of everybody believing that they were a Reiki master. I would say that 70% of the people that practice Reiki on other people are stealing their energy and causing them to be in worse shape than they were. There are some pretty good ones that understand what to do, but it took me years to understand the nature of healing. And even though I'm someone that was naturally talented, that just meant that I was naturally talented enough to screw up. I went through my formal training, and it took years, and then years to master what it is that I've learned. So when someone comes and tells me that they went through their Reiki 1, 2, and 3, and they went to a couple of seminars, and they're calling themselves a Reiki master, imagine what I feel like. So really watch who you go to. It's who you go to, really. All of the arts that there are intact. It's who is practicing. Whether or not that person really does know what the hell they're doing. So, mind yourself. And at the same time, you can usually get your circuits back in line if you cover those 5 things that I mentioned at the beginning. Are you eating right? Are you getting enough water? Are you getting enough sleep or rest? Are you getting enough exercise? And are you having some spiritual input in your life? If you mind those things, then your circuits should stay pretty fit. Of course, they get knocked off. I mean, we live on Earth. There's that portion that we're dealing with humanity. And sometimes, even the best of us can get a little irritated at things, and that could cause a maladjustment of your circuits. Like some of the things that kind of get people irritated on the road, like rotaries, which there's absolutely no real purpose for other than to annoy the hell out of people, because people don't know the difference between yield and stop. So there are other things. It seems sometimes like society in and of itself is built to just irritate people, and that can cause a maladjusted circuitry if you hold on to those things. And if you do get mad about something, okay, fine, be mad about it, but just let it go once it's done. You don't be mad about something for ages. It's just ridiculous. You'll wind up affecting your own health that way. Get mad about something, get it out, let it go. Okay, and then move on to more peaceful things. Nothing in you can grow or produce if you're going to be angry. In order for any type of growth to take place, there has to be peace first. Understand that. Peace is the fertile ground on which all life grows. Sorry. That sounded really philosophical. Okay, so I hope that helps you. There are a lot of practitioners that will help you. And if you want to learn how to do it, again, I teach classes.
That's it for right now.
Is that it for right now?
That's it for right now.
Okay.
It is 8:58.
Wow.
Wow.
So since I have some time, I'm going to talk to you guys about some stuff that I like to talk about. I'm watching... we like anime here. We like anime and K-dramas. And one of the things that I'm watching right now is Hunter X. And I know that Michael watches anime. Michael Priester watches anime. Yeah.
Cool.
So if you guys, you might check out, and for those of you might check out Hunter X. For those of you that...
X-Hunter.
X-Hunter. For those of you that
say things like, I don't like anime because it's a waste of time. Listen, you've not watched the stories. If you watch Fairy Tail, it will change your life.
It's a lifestyle. Fairy Tail is a way of life.
Okay, there is X Hunter. You can watch Naruto. You can watch Bleach. You can watch Kenichi. You can watch the Titan. What is it called? Titans? Attack on Titan. You can watch. What else have I watched? Oh, Blue Exorcist. You can watch Demon Daimyo. And you can watch The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Oh
You can watch I Couldn't Be a Hero, so I got a part-time job. And you can watch Holic. All of these wonderful things. And you won't have to go out and spend so much money for your entertainment. It doesn't mean for you to stay there and watch them all day, but people can use some people can use some entertainment, It's kind of like when I was talking to you guys, a year ago about stress-free television, Well, there's no such thing. But if you can watch stress-free shows, like what was the one that I would Little Bear, things like that are perfectly acceptable for children. It's also acceptable for adults. Find something you can do that can relieve your stress. Seriously, it will help you immensely. I was like, oh boy, I would like to have my own TV channel on cable so that I could just show stress-free programming. And eventually I will, just to let you all know, I will have my own channel. And when I have my own channel, I will decide what goes on there, and I will promote independent film and independent shows and independent series and things like that, and I will not sit and wait around for Hollywood to come along and give me anything. Okay. Well, not now, but just saying. What are you doing?
I was writing the anime and shoot scenarios. Like, what?
Yeah.
there's lag.
There's different animes. So also there are K-dramas. K-dramas are the best things ever to hit the screen, okay? And I don't care what any of you have to say. K-dramas meaning Korean dramas, okay? The Japanese are pretty good, and the Chinese are really good, but I'm sorry. K-dramas, Korean dramas are the best. Here we call them soap operas, but our soap operas suck. The Young and the Restless. Watch a good K-drama. Change your life. Okay? Now, I've said what I have to say about those. For those of you, I will tell you, going to see Guardians of the Galaxy is worth it. I mean, but it's not one that you want to see. It doesn't have repeat appeal at all. Not at all.
No.
And yes, we're really big on movies here. We're really big on shows. I'm going to start a series after I finish filming Valkyr, which is the name of the independent film that I am doing. It is my first attempt at doing an epic film. And for those of you that would like to donate towards this film, you hear a lot about it, and you've seen a lot about it on Facebook. You can go to falkirmovie.com and make a donation so that we can get stuff to film the movie. It would be really helpful to us. Now, I know that when you put stuff up on Facebook, there's a lot of people that you say, we're raising funds for this movie, and there are a lot of people that will hit like, and that's great. But you know how you really prove that you like it? Make a donation, okay? That would really show us that you like it, So that's really where it helps. Okay, are there any other questions?
That is it for now.
All right, I'd like to thank you all for listening to me rant about stuff, and I'd also like to thank you all for joining us on Ask the Unicorn / The Way of the Unicorn. Next week, we'll try to have a guest for you, so that we can talk about some things and have you question. Actually, I should have had Laura in here tonight. We have a guest that's staying with us for the week, and that's Laura Fury. And Laura Fury is also an independent actor and actress. Actress. And she's very good. She also does stage sword fighting. And she also has, her and her husband, so Daniel Fury, run a business in Massachusetts. And in Salem, Massachusetts, actually. And they have their businesses of tours. Maybe you can get the name of their business so I can kind of plug it for them.
Okay, and they run tours of Salem. She used to work at the witch house, the all-famed witch house, so she's kind of an expert on the whole history of that place. As a matter of fact, we went there to just visit them one day, and they took us to the witch house, and all of a sudden she jumped tour guide and started talking about the entire history of the place, and we were just sitting there like, wow, she jumped right into that, didn't she?
The name of their tour company, if you're looking to have an awesome and fun tour in Salem, is called Black Cat Tours.
Yes.
They will dress up.
And that is Dan and Lara Fury. Yes, right, Fury. And yes, that's their real name. I performed their wedding.
And they are listed under TripAdvisor, so check them out.
Yes, and incidentally, Lara is also in Falkir, and she is portraying the part of Athena, goddess of victory and wisdom. And I might say that she fits the part. She's also 9 feet tall.
Yeah. I don't know what we can do because I'm playing a goddess and I'm not 9 feet tall.
That's okay. They don't all have to be 9 feet tall.
Pretty impressive though. They're all 9 feet tall.
I'm portraying Thor, god of storms, and I am not 9 feet tall.
You're pretty formidable. You're much taller than 5'5".
Well, yeah, I am.
So, Black Cat Tours is proud to present the Summer of Pirates. All summer long, they're especially featuring the stories of notorious cutthroats who have come ashore to Salem, Massachusetts. They're partnering with the New England Pirate Fair and offering you a 20% discount on your tickets to their tour if you attend the Pirate Fair event.
And what, that is July 25th? What? No, what is that? When is that?
I don't know. That's what it says.
Okay, if you want to find out when they're having their events, what you might do is go to www.blackcatsalem.com. That's www.blackcatsalem.com. And that is Daniel and Lara Fury, Lara and Daniel Fury, however you want to put it. And they are good friends of ours, so I do hope that you'll support them.
Natalia Casanova asks if we reviewed Lucy on another episode.
Yeah. You mean what, the Hunger Games?
We didn't watch, we didn't go
Wait,
see Lucy.
Ultraviolet, that was it.
Because
only with a really weak looking person.
It did not appeal to us. It was Lucy or Hercules? Lucy or Hercules?
Okay.
Lucy.
Sorry, what's that woman's name? I can never remember her name.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson. Seriously?
Johansson.
She's the super being and her arms are as big as my finger? Really? Seriously?
Johansson. That's her last name.
Sorry, I'm not buying it. It's like Divergent, Hunger Games, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Ultraviolet wasn't that bad because it had Mila Jovovich.
Oh, it put me to sleep twice. Both times we watched them. Watched it.
Mila Jovovich.
I just couldn't do it.
There's people who say Mila Jovovich. Jovovich.
That's probably how it's supposed to
Mila.
be pronounced.
I'm just calling her Mila. Okay.
Jovovich.
I actually like her. Okay.
Jovovich.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. But I'm sorry, Scarlett Johansson. No. To me, it was just a very. I watched some of the trailers and previews and things that were talked about, and it just seems kind of like let's just do it because she's a woman thing. At least pick someone who's strong, for God's sake. You know, why is it that whenever you pick strong women, people get turned off? I don't get it.
Gamora was pretty cool.
Who?
Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy. The green girl. She's alright. Except for when they kept trying to hook her up with the other guy. But she was skinny.
No.
Didn't have strong.
It's like Halle Berry was not Storm. Okay? Sorry. They could have used Angela Bassett. That would have been awesome. Or someone strong like her. They picked Halle Berry. God, didn't they have enough of her in Catwoman?
Yeah.
I know that everybody likes Halle Berry. Good for you.
That's it.
Okay. So anyway, you all have, you all have a wonderful weekend, okay? And I truly love it when you guys watch the show. Please tell your friends to watch the show. You tell your friends to watch the show. We can put more into the show. We can, give you more fancy sets and our wonderful lighting system and
loading loofahs.
My great, bank and stuff. And we can
Floating
work on our
loofahs.
comedy lines and stuff.
Uh,
Okay, so get your friends to watch us, and I'll see you all next week on Ask the Unicorn. Until then, once again, try to be good to each other, okay? Really. Try to be good to each other. I don't care where you come from. We're all we got. Okay? Oh, and you gifted people, again, stop hiding. Show who you are. All right, see ya.
Night night.